Hello and welcome to Study with Sudhir, your digital classroom. A quick note about letter writing and summary writing. Many students make a mistake. In fact, many students don't seem to take letter writing very seriously, thinking that अरे चलता है इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम होना नहीं चाहिए. It's something which we should be able to deal with quite easily. Now, I had discussed this in the previous video also. Informal letter writing does not mean flippant letter writing. You cannot use slang language. You cannot use WhatsApp or Instagram kind of language. So be very careful when you're attempting an informal letter. An informal letter only means that you're writing to someone who you already know. It could be a brother, sister, your uncle, your aunt, your friend. But it does not mean that you get down to using very slang language. Your marks will be deducted if you use slang language. So that is something which you need to keep in mind. This particular book, the Total English, which is a Morningstar publication, has a very good table which talks about the 5 C's in letter writing. So some of you may not be having this book, so I thought I will point this out, the 5 C's in letter writing, which has been mentioned by the authors. It talks about being clear. We have discussed some of these points before, but I thought when you put it as 5 C's, it kind of registers much more sharply. Be clear in your letter. What you are trying to write. If you are trying to talk about a particular advice that you are giving to your friend who has say failed in the mathematics exam, or you are trying to convey some particular news, be very clear about what the question is and get down to it straight away. That's something which is very important. So every word that you are writing should be very clear in kind of conveying what it means. So clarity is the first C. Number 2, being concise. Do not ramble, especially in an informal letter. Informal letter does not give you the freedom and the liberty to talk about things all over the earth. That does not work. It does not work that way. So be very crisp in getting to the point straight away. No beating about the bush. Number 3, being courteous, and this applies both to formal letter writing obviously and even in informal letter writing. If you are writing to your sister, that does not give you the liberty of being very casual about it. Okay, that C does not work. So casual C is not the C to be followed, but being courteous is the C to be followed. Okay, so be very polite in the manner in which you are addressing the other person. Then the 4th C is being correct. Correct grammar, correct spellings and correct punctuation. Remember, this is an English language and grammar examination. So you need to pay extra attention to your full stops, to your commas, to your hyphens, to your grammar, to your tenses, to the verbs that you have used and also to your spellings. Do not try to write a bombastic word and go wrong with its spelling, because you will straight away lose 1/4 of a mark out there. So be very careful. Because also, just imagine if you are actually sending a letter to your dad and if it is full of spelling mistakes, he is hardly likely to be impressed with you, right? He is more likely to call you up and say, what kind of a rubbish letter you have sent full of spelling mistakes. So think of it that way. Then complete is the last C. It says make sure you do not change your opinion midway. If you are being asked to kind of advise somebody on what he should do, okay, he has just lost his job, what he should do next, be very clear in the kind of suggestions that you are giving. Don't kind of, be very dull-headed about it or not being very clear about it. Otherwise, what's the whole point of writing a letter? Your letter also has to have a sense of purpose, right? So, try to write what all you want to say and conclude your letter. The 6th C that I point out in addition to these 5 C's is the conclusion. The conclusion has to be polite and it has to give a sense that okay, you have made these points that you wanted to make in about 3 paragraphs and now you are concluding the letter. So along with these 5 C's, the C that has not to be followed is casual, C for casual, and C for conclusion is my 6th C, which you need to add to these 5 C's which have been given in this book published by Morningstar. So I hope you are clear as far as this letter writing is concerned. One small tip let me add as far as the summary writing is concerned. We have done a full video lesson on comprehension. We have also done a full video lesson just on summary writing which comes for 8 marks. So that is something which you need to take care about. most students make the mistake of not treating it as a question and answer, because in the summary what happens is you're not being asked to summarize the entire bulky paragraph or 2-3 paragraphs that have been given. No, you are asked a question from it. So please read the question 2-3 times, understand what the question is, and then look at what are the words that are relevant to that particular question and answer, and then write the 50 words that will be relevant to that, summarizing that particular thing. So that is important, and while you are doing so, ensure, and you will get a sense of it. When you are writing it, you will go, okay, these are the important words which you can underline very lightly with a pencil on the question paper preferably, or you can write on a rough page, mark a page as rough page and write the keywords. Ensure that there are at least 6 keywords. At least 6 keywords should be there for you to get those 8 marks in the summary writing. So that is something which you need to take care of as far as the summary, the précis writing of 8 marks, which is there in, which is your third question, the fourth question number 4 in your examination paper. So that is as far as the English language and grammar paper is concerned. I hope it is all very clear. We have done videos on essay writing, this one letter and précis writing, and also the, about how to combine 2 sentences without using and but and so. So please do look at all the videos. We have also videos on composition, the other tips, and of course 3 videos on prepositions and 4 videos on transformation of sentence. You wouldn't get a better spread anywhere else on any other channel out here. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. All the best.